Do you get told that you would be prettier if you weren't fat? How does that make you feel? Does that kind of make you feel like you're just not good enough? Well, in this video, you are going to learn why people say that, what they really mean, and what you can do in response to that. I'm Stacey Hancock, body detective, weight loss mindset and binge and emotional eating behavioural transformation coach. That's a mouthful. Now, why do people do this? Basically, we do it because we're human. Sometimes we communicate really well, and sometimes we communicate very poorly. And the reason for that comes down to our capacity for communication, reasoning, and decision making. So most of us will reason that there is actually no standardized definition of pretty. Most of us who are operating at a capacity where we wouldn't say stuff like that to you. We would say, there's no standardized definition of pretty, therefore those words wouldn't even come out of my mouth. All right? Now, so that means a lot of us are going to reason that it isn't an appropriate statement. We're going to reason, it's not even going to cross our mind to even say it. Then we're going to make a decision not to say that statement. But it's a subconscious decision because we already know that, well, that's a dumb thing to say anyway. And then our communication is going to reflect our reasoning and our decision making. And so we're probably going to say something quite loving like, look, I've just noticed that you've been feeling really down and you say a lot of really down stuff to yourself and I'm really worried about you, and how can we help you? What do you need from me? Do you need support? Do you need, what do you need? And so that's loving communication, and that's communication from somebody who is operating at a higher capacity. So when you're experiencing that particular statement, that in and of itself, that they're operating down at a kind of a low communication and reasoning and decision making capacity, will hopefully make you feel a little bit better, because if you've noticed that it's a shitty form of communication, you're probably operating just slightly a bit higher because you've seen it. You haven't bought into it. Well, hopefully not. Some of us have. Some of us are walking around thinking that we are fat, ugly people, but we're not. I don't see ugly people. I walk down the street and people just look different. Everyone looks different. So anyway, if you're surrounded by people who are communicating at the substandard level, guess what? You're not alone, and it doesn't just happen to you'd be so pretty if you weren't fat. You'd be such a good mum if you blah blah blah. Your house would look so much nicer if you cleaned the windows. If you weren't so career focused, you'd have a man by now. And really, whose life is this? This is your life. But yes, I understand that hearing this over and over and over again can really drag you down, and it makes you want to just change your body, go on any starvation diet, restrict, just to try and get that weight off as quick as you possibly can so that your friends can start calling you pretty and that you can feel pretty. I get it. I understand. But what's underneath all that, what's hiding in there, is actually what you really want, but that's being masked, that's being hidden underneath all of these layers of shit that have now been created for you. Anyway, that is a whole nother topic in and of itself. But what do these people really mean? Let's look at what they're actually saying. So some of these people are actually coming from a place of care. Okay, so you've got to understand that. Not every single person saying this statement is trying to make you feel bad. It's just that they didn't communicate it quite right. Now, why not? Maybe, just maybe, you've been walking around the house saying, oh fuck, I'm so fat and ugly, excuse my language, but I do swear. And maybe, just maybe, somebody heard you say that. And maybe, just maybe, they are mirroring you because those are the words you choose to use. Maybe they're trying to support you because they think, well, if they use the words that you've used, maybe it means something to you. Okay? So I want you to check in on yourself. What are you saying to yourself? Okay? And also too, it's just that they just may not know how to communicate. So it can be quite difficult for some people just to say, look, I've just noticed that you've been really down. I really want to support you. So let's talk. Sometimes that can actually be hard. So that's one reason they actually do care. So be very discerning and understand whether they're caring people. And the second reason why people might say that is because they are uncomfortable. Spoiler alert, this is not about you, by the way. This is no longer about you. and your weight and your looks. It is about them and what type of a world they want to look at. So what we do when we're really uncomfortable, we might say something because we're like, oh, well, if I can change you, or if I can change that thing, then I'm going to be more comfortable. So they're going to say things that may try and propel you in that direction. They may even say, look, I think you're too fat for our group. That is their discomfort. That is their idea of what they want their world to look like. Now, yeah, it's toxic, it's vile, it's hideous, but as somebody pointed out on Facebook, when somebody unfriends you, consider it that they've taken the trash out, the trash has taken itself out. I love that statement. The trash has taken itself out. So when somebody is making that statement because they are uncomfortable and they just want to change you, just look at that and maybe that trash can just take itself out. Alright, so that is the two places. So it's coming either from a place of care or a place of their discomfort. Now remember, it's their discomfort. So from the first instance, from the first one, the place of care, it's they're placing care onto you, and the other one, it's discomfort about something going on in their world, whether that be you or not. Okay, and it can apply to all things. It doesn't have to be your weight. It could just be, that's Stacey Hancock, she swears too much. I think I'll tell her that she'd be a much nicer person if she didn't swear. And I say, screw you. Anyway, how to deal with this. So the first thing is be discerning enough to understand whether it's coming from a place of care or if it's coming from their discomfort. Yes, it can be really hard to spot, and the reason why it can be so hard to spot is because when you hear it over and over and over again, it actually creates this kind of fog of emotion and mental, not mental, thoughts is what I was going to say. I was going to say mental health. That's not what I meant. But this fog of emotions and thoughts, and so it's very hard, and then that creates a new perception for us, and then it's very hard to actually see, are you actually caring about me, or are you just justifying the fact that every single person thinks I'm fat and ugly? So it's really hard to spot, but do try with your heart, because you can feel people's love with your heart, okay? So just really try and be discerning. And if it's a place of care, just ask them, look, hey, can they select a different choice of words? Guide them. If you want support, teach people how to be your support. And if they love you unconditionally and they just think you're cool inside and out, they will support you. They'll step up and try and help you. Those that don't, cool, that's okay. They've got their own lives. We don't need to worry about that. Now, those are your friends who are coming from, or people who are coming from a place of discomfort, I would just simply challenge them. And I would say, what's your definition of pretty? Go on, tell me, exactly. List for me all of the things that make up pretty. And when they say nothing, I would just nod silently and go, I thought so. And walk off and hold your head high because you just called bullshit on them, okay? So, and basically what I would do is I'd just say, I don't give a shit what you think. Get out of my face. But again, I understand it is difficult to do that when you are absolutely feeling wrecked by the statement. But that's okay. The other thing you can do is to surround yourself by people who will support you and boost you up. So you might have, let's say, 2 friends who will do that, and let's say you've got 10 who are the kind of ones who are trying to get you to lose weight. I would rather hang out with the 2 who are going to make me feel awesome, or help me to feel awesome, or be awesome around an awesome environment, than hanging out with the 10 people who are just like toxic poison. So, and it's okay. We don't have to have tons and tons of people in our tribe. We just have to have the good ones. By the way, you are the sum of the 5 closest people that you hang out with, so do a little stock take. Who are you hanging out with? Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about how to manage your self-esteem, how to manage your emotional eating, and also how to attract a better support crew, there is a way you can actually attract a better support crew. What I'd love you to do is I want you to hit that link below, and what we can do is we'll jump on a call, and that's with me, Stacey Hancock, and I'll personally walk you through the 8-step process that I actually use with all my people, that actually helps them to remove the blocks that they've got around their mindset, relationship with food, relationship with their body, and even further reaching, it actually does stuff with their relationship with their life. So yeah, if you want that free call, hit that link below, fill in that little form that's going to come up, and we'll jump on the phone. I'll walk you through that process and see if that helps you at all. And also too, check out the website www.staceyhancock.com. There's tons of free downloads on there. Tons? Oh no, soon to be tons. I had to change something. And there's also recipes on there, heaps of recipes, and a bunch load of articles. So thank you very much for listening to me today. I've been Stacey Hancock, Body Detective, over and out.